Hey, what's going on everybody, and a warm welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we review this bottle. This is a George Remus Cask Strength from Ross & Squib, or MGP, out of Indiana. Run that video. Okay folks, a warm welcome back to the channel. Thank you everybody who's been subscribing lately. I've just been blown away by all your support folks. So do me a favor, please keep that up. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. So on this review, we have the George Remus Cask Strength. This is a straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 62.8% alcohol or 125.6 proof. Named after the famous bootlegger from the Prohibition days, George Remus, who was definitely a bit of a rapscallion, that's for sure. And I'll read the back of the bottle here. George Remus created one of the most intricate, successful bootlegging operations of Prohibition. With each single barrel holding its unique flavor secrets, George Remus bourbon captures the rebellious flavors of the Prohibition era, perfect for speakeasies or the liquor cabinet. I wonder if they're saying that this was a really good bottle for cocktails. And, it doesn't really say anything about drinking straight. However, this is an expression by MGP or Ross & Squib. I guess that they were always known for people sourcing whiskey from them. So I guess they wanted to come up with kind of like their own line of whiskeys to kind of display the unique and great tastes of MGP. So with this one, this is a single barrel product. They do a lot of these single barrel picks for the Cask Strength ones. I don't think I've seen a regular Cask Strength George Remus outside of a single barrel. I know that they do just a regular straight bourbon whiskey, non-Cask Strength one. I think that comes in around about 45 to 50% alcohol by volume. However, this is the one that we're going to be reviewing today. This cost me about $60, which is pretty good value on the face of it. I believe the age is between 6 and 8 years old here. And there's a bunch of other ones that MGB too. I think like the Remus Repeal is one you can get hold of. The Remus Gatsby as well. And a really popular one is Remus Volstead, but I think that's cost like north of $200. So as you can see, I have been drinking this whiskey, so I feel at this point I can give it a really fair, honest review. So let's get this whiskey into the glass here. Very subtle cork pop because there's not really much in the bottle here. So then just looking at this bottle here, you can have a really nice red label over the top. It is a real cork with a wood top, which is always nice to see. Again, on the back, you have that little blurb about George Remus, nice little kind of square label. The front has a picture of the man as well. It doesn't look like a pretty bad bottle at all. It looks quite nice, flares out a little bit to the bottom. Kind of has like a wine thing for pouring over the back there as well. I'm not sure you would pour like that, but hey, each to their own. And there's a little imprinted emblem here, which reads G and R inside of that there. So looking at the whiskey, and this is a Cask Strength or barrel proof product, so you are going to have, it's going to be darker in color and it's going to come across quite viscous. Not as viscous as I would expect, but it's definitely laced in the glass really well. Color is more of like an orange marmalade sort of color with that, maybe a little bit lighter than what I was expecting here. Let's go in for a nose on this glass. So the first thing that I pick up on this glass is there's a lot of cinnamon, or a big cinnamon note coming up. There's a bit of sweetness there as well. Not much caramel, it's kind of more of like a cane sugar sweetness. It's kind of have given off red hot vibes right now. Picking up a lot of spice. The cinnamon is making it no spicier than it is, but there's definitely some kind of rye spice kicking around in there as well. And there's definitely a lot of proof coming off the whiskey here as well. So I've been drinking quite a decent amount of this whiskey, and the notes haven't really changed since I opened it to where we are here. Yeah, just mostly that cinnamon note kind of dominates there. Pretty proof forward, and like I said, it kind of doesn't have much caramel. It kind of has just more like a sugar candy cane sweeter note there as well. So let's go in for a taste on this. All right, so the first thing is that it drinks very hot. And I know it's at, 62.8%, but it drinks closer to hazmat heat. And that travels all the way through to the finish and also thereafter as well. Like I drank this about 20 seconds ago and I'm still getting that Kentucky hug right in my chest there as well. It is a bit of a cinnamon bomb just right off the bat there. It's kind of curtails with the cinnamon note and the proof as well, just to make it kind of like a red hot sweet that really does carry through to the glass. It's a little more sweeter on the palate. I am getting some caramel notes there as well. The rye spice is definitely traveling through, but the finish is just mostly just hot. So what we'll do is we'll try to take another couple of sips here and see if we can pick apart that finish. So I'm getting a touch of barrel char from this as well, but it's predominantly like a cinnamon bomb here. There are some whiskies that I've had from MGP that have similar profiles to this, because obviously a lot of people do source their whiskey from MGP, and maybe this is kind of one of those bourbons that maybe is more tailored towards kind of like a cocktail, because it can get a little bit one-dimensional kind of with that flavor profile of just being hot and cinnamon there, but there is a nice little bit of sweetness that kind of does travel throughout. Not really so much oak spice, so there's not really a lot of age coming through on this. So final thoughts on this. It's nice to see a bottle come out from MGP of them trying to highlight their own juice, but I didn't even read the label before, so I'm kind of taken aback where it says perfect for a speakeasy on liquor cabinet. So I'm not sure if they're just trying to create a fun label, or maybe that's more so for what this whiskey is intended for, like a cocktail. However, what I'll say about this bottle is it's a decent, if you think affordable price-wise, $60 for a Cask Strength single barrel is right in line with kind of like a lot of the whiskey out there, maybe a little bit cheaper, I would say. I would put this in and around like the Rebel Cask Strength and kind of like the Ezra Brooks Cask Strength kind of range. So value for money, I would do A is the best and F is the worst. I'm gonna give this a C. It just kind of gets a little bit one-dimensional, and it's just like another generic Cask Strength whiskey that just doesn't give off too much more than just kind of like this singular profile of just being hot, and it kind of has a couple of different flavors going on. So my rating out of 100 being the best, 0 obviously being the worst, I'm just going to give this a 48. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed with this bottle. I was hoping for really good things, because a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about this juice, but it just fell a little bit short for me. Like I said, it was just, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but it definitely was this kind of red, hot, cinnamon, spicy, and then the heat coming from the ABV kind of profile. Maybe I should add a couple of drops of water and see how that kind of changes, or maybe I should put in a cocktail to see if it gets any better. Maybe that's what I'll do with the last juice that's in the bottle there. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I know that they still make these are still coming out, so if you're into maybe trying to get like a cheaper barrel proof product to put into a cocktail, then this might be the whiskey for you there. Would I recommend it? Probably not. Like I said, it's just another adjunct kind of Cask Strength whiskey on the market right now. So as we say, as we drink through the world's whiskies, one glass at a time, cheers.